Hey guys, and welcome back to my next tutorial video. So in this video, I will teach you how to make transitions. Now, with transitions, there are usually two types that I do. You have simple background transitions, like one sliding into the next one, and then you have what I call full screen transitions, which are the ones that I usually use in some of my levels. So in this tutorial, I will teach you how to make both of them. So first off, we'll start off with a simple background sliding transition. So I guess what we can do first is make our custom background, in which case I will make just a simple little check patterns. So we'll go like this, and I guess we can make it be black and white. So we have white, and then we'll put down the black one, and we'll just go on ahead and start creating it. We'll go like this, and we'll go like this, and we'll do this, like so. So as you see here, we now have our simple check pattern. So we can put it at the bottommost layer, like so, and we'll put it into a group. So now we'll go and make it move. So first off, have it locked to player X for whatever time you want. And we'll then do, like I said last time, the important thing of making it go back negative 100 at 0. And now we'll just put in our random number like so. Here we go. So now we have our background. So now comes the transition, which will be very difficult. So I guess, like I said, we'll make it do a simple slide right. So I guess we'll just have it slide into another checker or checkboard pattern, but just a different color. So what we can do first is copy it like so right there, have it go into another editor layer, and I guess we'll have this one be kind of like a light gray. So now what we can do is we just kind of like recreate the pattern like so. And this would be very time consuming or something, but So we'll just have it go like this, like so. And we'll just have it like this. And here we go. So now what we do is we put this in a whole new group, because if we have it in the same group, it'll complicate things. So we'll put this in group 2, and we'll kind of copy the same triggers like so from group 1. So now what we do is, this is the important thing. So remember that this is back 10 blocks or negative 100. What I do is I usually count by moving it over with this button right here, which does it like 5 times. So we'll just move this over and we will count like so. So it's moved over 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 400, 500, and 600. But since we have it moved back negative 100, we subtract 100 from there, and now it's at 500. So I guess what we can do now is put this on a higher up layer, and we will start the transition. So as you see, it's still just normal chart. But now we will have group 2 at a random point in time, like right here. We will now have it move back negative 500. But now comes the important thing, which is the time and easing. So I usually base both of those on the type of music, but since this song doesn't really have any like dubstep or anything, we can just have it do a slow transition over. So we will have it in, let's just say 1.5 seconds. We'll have it move back, and the easing, I guess we can go with my usual favorite easing, which will be the sine, and we'll have it do a sine out. So now, when we play it like so, as you see, it has now moved in. And I guess how we can end this off is by having it toggle group 1, so there will be no additional lag or so. So now we will have it toggle that, and we'll put this right here so it doesn't end immediately. So now when we play it, there you go. A simple sliding transition. Now you can make it do the same thing, either going right or up or down or anything like that. So now I guess we can now go into our next transition, which will be the full screen ones, which are usually the most kind of complicated ones to make. So I guess we can delete all of this, or I could just make a new level. So we'll just make a new one, like so. So I guess I would teach you a couple of them. I guess we can start off with the simple fade, like, the simple screen fading. So I guess we'll choose the rocket mode, and we'll just set it up real quick, like so. And we'll turn off the line. So let's just start putting down a rocket portal so we can see the barrier limits. And now I guess we'll make our next, actually we can just do the transition, or yeah, we'll make the custom background. So I guess we can just grab a couple of these, like so, and we'll put them on the lowest layer and into group 1, like so. Like that, and like this. Oh, don't want to do that. Oh, and here we go. So now that we have all this in group 1, we will just go ahead and make it move like so. Like that. And not like that, but like this. And we'll just have it move back -200 at 10. And there we go, we got our custom background. So now comes the transition, which I guess we're gonna start putting this here so it doesn't end. And so usually what some people probably do is just like spam all of this like so. But in my case, which I like to save objects, you just scale them up to 2.0, and we'll just copy paste it like that. So we'll just start by copy pasting it like up, like so. And here we go. So we are right now making the screen for the transition, and we will move it down like so. And now comes the colors or so. I'll just make it be a simple black, and we'll put the opacity at 0 because we'll need it to fade in for our transition. And now comes the layering, which will first mark don't fade. We will put it at T3 at 1, and this is usually why I put my custom grounds at T2. So we'll put it in the next free group, and we will, as you see, it's gone, and we will make it just move X back at -100, and we will have it locked to player X, but we won't have it move because we want it to just stay. So now as you see, if we play it, as you see, we don't see the screen. So now we'll have it at right here, fade in, and as you remember, we set it in color 2. So now we'll have it at color 2, and the timer, so really you could just time it based on the music. For in here, we'll just 1 second, and we'll have it fade in with the opacity at 100, and the color black. And as you see, it fades in, and then we'll have it right about here, and then we'll have it fade out. So now, if we go in to play it, and before we do that, I'll put this down. Now when we have it go in, there you go. So now I guess I will teach you another one, which I like to call, like, the ground going up, like I had in my level with you. So I guess what we can do first is delete all of this, and we'll have it delete the fade in as well on this layer. So for this one, it's going to be a little complicated because what I did, as you see, if we do show ground and if we uncheck portals, there is no line. And if we turn on the line, as you see, it's just a white line. So what I did for that was I just kind of recreated the line, and I'll show you how to do that. So first off, I would recommend unchecking show ground. So as you see, the ground will be right here from just that little white line. So we'll recheck this, and we will recreate the line like so. So what you do is start off with these blocks right here, and I guess we could do reset all unused colors, and we'll have it put into the next free color, which will be white. So then you just start kind of like as if you're gonna make like a small little line out of these bricks or blocks. So we'll have it go like so, and we'll put all this in a new group, which will be group 2. And for the layering, we'll need to put it at T3, but remember you put the Z layer at 1 because we will need that. That'll be important later on when we make the transition. So what you'll do next is copy this whole line you just made and move it to the top of where the rocket portal is, symbolized by the blue line. So we will have it first off locked to player X for 10, and we will have it again move X back negative 100 for 0, and as you see, it's following you at the top and bottom. But now what you need to do next is, first off, we'll start with the bottom one. You'll need to use these arrows right here and move it up at least 1. So as you see, just 1, and the same goes for the top one, except we'll have it move down 1. So now when you go into the level, if we do not that, if we do uncheck portals, and if we go into the level, as you see, it kind of looks exactly like the line. So now comes the transition, which will be very, I guess we'll say, complicated. So what you'll need to do is go into a new layer and now create the like black, you know, kind of making it look like as if the ground is also moving up. So you need to first off line it up, and I guess I'll show you how to do it. So we'll first off scale it up, and then we'll have it line up to the grid lines like so. There we go, and we'll have it do the same for the other side like so. So now what we'll do next is just move it over, and we'll start kind of recreating it like as if you're making the screen transition. So now we'll just have it go like that and move it over a bit. And now you'll have it kind of line up exactly with the white line on the next layer. There we go. And then we'll have it go down like pretty much a bunch of times so it won't like start cutting in. So have it go for the bottom, and we'll have it go for the top, which I guess I need to recheck the rocket portal. There we go. And now we black, like so. And then we will now put them into group 2 so that they will also follow the white line. Now comes the layering. So remember how I said we put the white at T3-1? We need to put this at T3-2 because we don't want it to be under it or else it will look weird. Or we don't want it to be on the same layer because it will start making it look weird. So now we now have it ready to be for the transition. So we will uncheck the portal. Now this is going to get a little complicated. The bottom one we need to put into a separate group from the top. So we'll put the bottom one at 3, and then we'll put the top one up. I selected the triggers, and we'll put the top one in 4. There we go. Now we need to make them move in. So if you've ever counted how many blocks if you can ever count how many blocks the rocket portal is, it is 10 without it being zoomed in or out. So taking that knowledge into hand, we will now have 3, which is at the bottom, move Y up 50. Because every 10 blocks, every 10 units in the move command is 1 block in the editor. So we'll have it move up 50, and we can set the time to be 1. And the easing, this is when it gets pretty fun because certain easings can make it kind of slowly go in or make it fast go in. So I guess since we want it to be kind of like, I guess we can make it be kind of slow. We can set it to be sign in. And we'll have it just kind of move over about 200 right here. Now we will copy paste and kind of move it up. And then for 4, which remember it's at the top, we will have it move Y down -50. And we'll keep everything the same. So now when we go into the level, we can now check out how it looks. There you go. So that is what I guess I can call the ground zoom in transition. So I guess we could teach you kind of like one of the ones that come in from the side. I guess I can teach you kind of something kind of like this, except it goes in from the side. So I guess we can go in and make a new level. And we could just name it side. And again, we will use the famous rocket portal. So now we can have it check. And we can go on with setting it up. So we'll have we'll have the line be 2, but it'll be invisible, it'll be black. And we'll have just use a simple background. So now I guess once again we can make our next switch. We could kind of make it be the same as the last one. And if anyone knows, the ones that I'm making for these, I kind of also made at my level Kush. And I guess I can teach you I guess I'll teach you one of the ones from there. So of course we will have it move over. We'll just have it do this a couple of times. And we'll just put this all into a group. Again at B4, 1. And anyways, if anyone's wondering why I checked this right here, it's don't fade, but this check mark right here is also blocking it, which I guess I could teach you what these all do. But basically, don't fade. When blocks enter in and out, they fade, and I don't like having them fade because it kind of messes up the transitions and stuff. So that's usually why I check don't fade. And don't enter, I guess I can quickly show you. So don't enter, basically, if anyone remembers what these are, don't enter stops them from doing those certain effects, and it can kind of look cool with certain blocks or with certain transitions. So, but we'll just check this just for now, and we will put it in group 1. And I guess we're gonna check glow because I don't even know if these things glow or not, but we'll just check it just to be safe. And we'll again, do group 1, the usual X back 100 for 0, and multiplayer X for 10, and and we will have it just again move back. I guess we could do a negative 150, make it look a little slower. And there we go, custom background made. So now for the left ones, this can get complicated because with bigger devices they kind of have a wider range of view. And I used to know how many blocks it was. It was like at least about 300, but I don't really remember it. So we'll just go safe and go with at least back 400. So what we can do is we can start off with making just a white line like so. And we will move, this will be the start of our transition. So we'll move it back 100, 200, move it back 400 like I said. So we will set it in the next free color and we'll make it be white. And for layering, again, we'll have to put this at T31 and it'll kind of be like the same as with the last transition. So this will be our white line starting it off. So now we will copy paste this line and we will move it back about three of this arrow right here. And we'll put this in the next free layer. And we will make this can usually be whatever color you want. So I guess for making it look cool, we can make it be a checkerboard pattern. So we'll put this in color group 3 and we'll make it be a little light gray. And I know this doesn't look great with the blue background. And we'll just kind of select every other one of these and make it be a little bit of a darker color, like so. Actually, you know what? Nah, we'll just make it be black. Sorry. We'll just because I just realized the checkerboard will kind of look iffy, and I'm starting to get into one of the other transitions I guess I'll teach you. So now comes the great copy pasting this a bunch of times so it can fill up the screen. So we'll just do it about like that. So as you see now we got our transition thing set, and we shall now put this in another new group, and we'll put it in 2. And we nearly forgot to move this up 1 layer, like so. So to get this transition to work, we'll first off need it to lock the player X. And since we moved it back 400, we will need to move it back at least 500 or 600 to also cover up the back. So we'll have him move X back negative, I guess 550 would be good. And we'll put the move time to be 1, and I guess we use a really good one, which will be exponential out, which basically it starts off flying by and it slowly slows down, which can make it look pretty cool. And yep, we'll have a move for 1, and we'll start off right here. So now we almost forgot to put this down, which basically what this is right here. If anyone knows what the little white little background particles are, this basically turns them off, and I like doing it because for my style, they don't really look that good. But in another new level that I'm making, voice crack, another new level that I'm making, it looks pretty cool with that on. So now we go in, and I forgot to put this down right here, which I guess we can just put this down at the near the end to increase the length. There you go. But that was going a little too fast, so I guess we can just set it to sign out. And there we go. So now when we do it, there you go. Now usually some people like adding in text and stuff for it, which I guess I could show you how to do that. So, but in order for us to do, we need to move this down to T. Luckily, we only have that at B4. So I guess the one complex thing about this is getting the text to line up with the screen. So basically, since the rocket portal is 5, like so, since it is, as it states, Since it is at the states on the left, 10 blocks, we'll need to just do something like this, selecting 4 and 4, and there, right there in between these two blocks is the middle. So I guess what we can do is first off line up the text. Let's just let it first off say something like, let's just have it say having fun. So I guess we could first off start off by scaling this up all the way. And now we need to line it up. So we'll just have it go up 9 like that. And we'll have it go into a new group. And I guess we can make it be blending to take out the black lines on the side. But now we need to set up on T3. And we'll set it in the same group as this, which is 2. And we'll have it do don't fade. And now comes the difficult part with lining it up. So I guess we can start off by trying to have it center this, kind of like so. And let's hope we got it on the first try. So now when we go in, it was pretty close. So we just need to move it over about 3. There we go. Now normally it could end there, but if you want, you could also make it move on again to the other side. And I guess instead of the move, I guess we'll do it like that. But in order to do that, we need to select this white line right here. And we need to put it at the end of this. Like so. But as you see, we can't really see it. So now we need to move it over about like that. And then basically there's no math you need to do with this. You can just have it kind of like stay there for a second, and then we'll have it then move again X back negative 550. But we need to change the easing to sign in, because if we have a sign out, it's just gonna fly by. If we have a sign in, it's then gonna slowly go in and start flying off, and it makes it look a little bit cooler. So now we'll be going. There you go. While it's standing still, so basically in this area right here in between, you're gonna have the next background kind of toggle in or off, or you can have something happen with the background, so then it makes it look cool. So I guess that's the end of this transition tutorial. I might make a part 2 with more complex transitions, like a few of them in my newest levels. And I guess our next tutorial can be on custom backgrounds, or the next part of transitions, whichever one. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next tutorial video.